Camellya does like the craziest like 360 with her leg after her N4.
One,
Like, like,
two, three.
you
Oh
seen
my!
that?
Oh my God!
Dodging is dodging is crazy.
No, that is
That trick is
crazy.
crazy. That
That
trick
is
is
crazy. All
crazy.
right, T0 just for that. Nah, that's why. All right, boys, we got it. T0. End the recording. Yeah, okay, so here, let's just, blah, blah, blah. So as promised last update, we revamped the tier list in addition with 4-star characters at sets. Okay, so all 4 stars are now at S6. Some 4 stars, the update at S6 is a substantial one. For others, it's less impactful. Some 4 stars moved up. Okay, a part of this update, we're also introducing a new tag alongside removing some old ones to adjust the rankings of specific characters we've had trouble placing in the past, okay? Our tier list aims to reflect not only in-game testing and performance, but also the ideally aligned with the community opinion and our experience. Excuse me. If you have any feedback of the update tier list, please don't hesitate to reach out and share. The expert tag. Internally, we set an expectation of what we consider a reasonable level of play when writing guides and assessing characters' performance. Sometimes characters' optimal playstyles fall outside these expectations, resulting in lower than expected placement on tier lists. But with evidence of extraordinary performance from dedicated, skilled community members, our goal is to represent the value of a character to the average player. That's I agree as well. But we also agree a character's maximum power must be recognized. I think whatever, we'll get to that in a minute. The expert tag is a solution to this. Characters tagged with the expert tag can be considered one placement higher than their tier list ranking. We've attempted something similar in the past, but now we're making it far more obvious by branding the character's portrait. Okay, I think that's valid. I think that's good. Like someone
Yeah.
like Calchero could be like an expert, like Encore Calchero, perfect right here. 2 characters, the
Yeah.
rework. Yeah, okay. Because I think that I think it's cringe when people like say Calchero can really be T1. And it's like, no, he can't. Stop it. Like, sit the fuck down, little bro. So, okay. When reworking the tier list, 2 characters were subject to much discussion, Changli and Alto. As a result of these discussions, we're placing both the characters on our watch list with the intention of hearing what you have to say on these characters before proceeding with any changes. What? Changli compared to Camellya, Zhang Liao, Jian, and Changli doesn't feel placed quite right. I disagree. She has no meta-defining best team when compared to these characters at this time and usually makes do with non-perfect fit hybrid characters, double DPS quick swap setup, or double support teams. Changli has fantastic potential but feels limited by teammate choices. I think this is absolute cap. She sometimes serves as a hybrid in the sub DPS role and doesn't feel like she has quite the meta foothold of aforementioned 3 we have. We are also considering rating her as both main DPS and hybrid, and she would appear in both columns. That I think is valid. I think they definitely do both. Alto, I don't care about Alto. Alto's trash. Alto's just dog shit. It's
True.
we're skipping that. So I'm sorry, Tiger. I'm sorry, Tiger. I apologize. Sheesh. Yoo-hoo has been added to the list. Force will be upgraded. Okay. Shorekeeper's been added to the list. Okay, so that's old shit.
Yeah.
07 Alto, boys. 07 Alto. Yeah. This is interesting. I think this is very does Misha has potential? Yeah, I agree. Okay, so where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Jinshi? Let's start with DPSs.
You start DPS.
Okay.
I
Or we can
think
start over with support since that's the easiest and get the quick stuff out of the way so we can talk longer about the
Okay.
more controversial
Alright.
stuff later on.
Okay, supports I think is
I mean,
just straight up.
support's pretty valid, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
Shorekeeper arena. There's like no contest.
I
I
yeah,
could see Yoo-hoo moving down, but that's about it.
I was about to say that. I like that we think alike. I think Yoo-hoo does too many inputs. I mean, I see why Yoo-hoo is here due to the fact that they technically could almost match in certain teams. I think it was the Gion team that Miyabi dropped a video on. But other than Yoo-hoo being T1.5, I think this is fine. Actually, no.
Baiji, if she doesn't have variation, is just as bad as Yahoo. Then you have to just sit there basic attacking and doing your heavy attack with her little pet.
I think the difference is that with Baiji, it's not 15. It's not like, okay, let me not exaggerate. It's not 10 to 12 inputs. Baiji, it's just normal attacking, and that is it. There's no complex part about her kit. It's simply straight healing, normal attack, echo, and swap out. Like, it's very, very easy. So I think, like, to keep her at T1, I think is fair. But I'm actually not going to lie to you. I think my big controversial take here, I think Yang Yang should be higher. I think we're actually really underutilizing Yang Yang in replacement with a Zhang Liao pairing. I'm not gonna lie to
Yang
you.
Yang, yeah, Yang Yang can be in hybrid quick swapping.
Or they can just put the expert thing on Yang Yang.
I don't even think you could put. I don't even think it requires an expert though. I think expert.
Well, you have to remember that a lot of people don't even know how to quick swap.
Well,
Some
it's
people
not
like are swapping in and just like staying on the character the whole time.
Do you think it's a quick swap thing, or it's literally just her
Yeah,
outro?
Yang Yang, she can her skill and her ult can be swapped out of. And then I think her heavy
Yeah.
attack as well. When she does like her forte version of her heavy attack,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
swap
yeah.
out of that.
I see. No, I don't disagree with you. I was just looking at it from a perspective of like the fact that she could give you extra particles,
Oh,
like
just for the battery?
like
Yeah.
just for the battery herself. I think she like could go into the hybrid role. Excuse me. I mean, her damage is not bad at S6 either, but I could see like an expert tag. But I think you put her at least like 1.5. Like if you don't want to
Yeah,
put
that's
her in
valid.
one with Baiji in them, which I get, I really believe she belongs in the hybrid tier personally at 1.5 at least. But other than
Yeah,
that,
that's
I'm
valid.
chilling. I think Tauchi, a boba. Other than that, nothing crazy on Tauchi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Taochi's the worst unit in the game, sadly.
Tauchi's about to get
Yeah,
gapped.
yeah. Chat, how you
Because
feeling
the
about
only
this?
thing Tauchi has is her outro and
And that
yeah.
takes 20 years to build up.
Yeah, her outro's pretty bad. Yo, it's good. Sheath, how you feeling,
And
brother?
the
Welcome in.
future Mouse Girl is also just going to do that, but be better.
Yeah, the mouse girl actually, if we want to do a quick prediction, I think the mouse girl is going to rank in T1, or
It
T1.5 in
depends how she
hybrid.
plays.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
we only
1.5.
played her in the elusive realm,
Actually,
so I have no idea.
you know what? She might be tier 2 because her stamina consumption is pretty rough.
It's rough, but I think that the way I've envisioned playing her, maybe I'm wrong, and like continuing both of the fortes at the same time, I think will have enough viability. I think it's an expert tag. I think you know what?
That's
You're
I think
probably
she doesn't
right.
have enough testing yet because we only played her in elusive realm. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
skip that. We can skip that. Yang Yang is the most slept on character. I agree. I agree. I'm testing Tauchi Shield and Interruption on Camellya right now. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so I think support cast is done.
Yep.
The hybrid cast, brother. I don't know, man. I
I agree with
Hybrid,
most of it, to be honest.
I feel like
I mean,
Mortefi's
yeah.
holding up by a string in the hybrid.
Mortefi probably goes to tier 1, in
You
my
don't
opinion.
you don't think Gigi
The
goes to tier 1
only
either?
no,
Listen,
JG
I
is
would
good.
put GZ to tier 1 just because she's not great.
I agree. I think I got roasted for this. I was told that I should stop making content on the game because I think that I agree with you on Mortefi. I think Mortefi's held up by a string. I personally believe there's no T0. I don't believe there's a T0 support, genuinely. I'll get to that in a
Sanhua.
moment.
Sanhua.
Maybe Sanhua. I'll give maybe Sanhua, but Mortefi, fine. Let's say you want to keep him at 0.5. I think she just should go down to T1 because other than Jinshi, she is not needed. And realistically, we have Yanwu. Like, if a new player comes to this list, like, hey, what character should I be pulling? I think this is genuinely big misinformation. I really do. She's clunky. She's not fun. I don't find her fun. I think her gameplay is annoying to me personally. And realistically, she's an incandescent bot. She's not working with Encore. She's not working with Zhang Liao. Her coordinated attacks aren't really helping Jian. She doesn't really do much. Like, you could technically use her with Chang Li with her outro, with the resonant skill stuff. But, like, Chang Li needs hot swapping. So I personally, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of her.
I disagree. Also, you're forgetting that she also gives energy to the character that swaps in. Same as Yang Yang.
But who are you using her on other than Jinshi? Like, what other team comp have you used her on other than Jinshi
Or
ever?
you can play DPS Sanhua with her.
That's
Okay,
like
no one is playing
yeah.
DPS Sanhua.
I know one
No,
person
I'm
who plays
just saying
DPS Sanhua.
you can do that.
Yeah, but this
this
is
a
for
thing
the
to do.
average player, and ain't no average player running DPS
Well,
Sanhua.
Yeah.
They
if
don't
there
even like
is
support Sanhua.
well, if there is ice buff, which we've had one time, you can run that up. I think there's just the fact that there's no ice characters to go with her, really. That's the
Okay,
only thing.
but here's the thing though, we can't live in the world of hypotheticals at the moment, right? Maybe one day she will
True.
get better, but I think T.5 is just not fair. I don't think this is a good ranking. I think this is a really over the top ranking. I think the only reason why they ranked her to T0.5 is because how goated Jinshi is. But you don't need her for Jinshi.
True.
I think she's better than Yinlin for coordinated attacks, but that doesn't mean that she's overall a better unit than Yinlin because Yinlin has way more synergy. So if you ask me, I say I'm not going to down the hill of Mortefi, whatever, leave Mortefi where he is. I think Gigi goes T1, and then I think personally
And
Yinlin
if
goes what?
JG moves, Mortesi also has to move.
Okay, cool.
That's the only thing.
I'm with you. I think both of them
Yeah.
go T1, and I think these two right here go to T.5. Maybe you keep Sanhua at T0.
No, Sanhua is the GOAT. Sanhua is the GOAT too.
Okay, let's go to Sanhua. What do you think? What does her S6
I think
do, actually?
I think Sanhua can literally be played with every character in the game, and then Camellya came out and she's best in slot for Camellya. So that solidifies her slot.
Sanhua is complicated because as good as she is difficult to play at an optimal level for most people.
Yeah.
Well,
I think she's fine in tier 0, but that's only because Camellya exists.
I don't even think it's just because Camellya exists, but
It's
I think
only
it
because
solidifies.
Camellya exists.
Why do you think it's only because Camellya exists?
Because Camellya is the only DPS that we have that's as good as Jinshi.
Yeah.
And Camellya only has one support, which is Sanhua.
I could see.
All right, but Sanhua also works with Encore, and Encore is a good DPS too.
Yeah, no.
And she works with Zhang Liao.
And she does work with Changli, truthfully. She does.
I am not running Sanhua with Zhang Liao.
Well, because you have the most premium team. If you're like free-to-play player with no units, if you have Zhang Liao and Sanhua, like you're clearing.
No,
I'm a free-to-play player. What are you talking about?
No. I think you're a little overcooking. I think Zhang Liao is the only one that I actually wouldn't run her with, but everyone else, yeah. Zhang Liao, I'd rather run Yang Yang. But I agree with you though. I could see.
Well, you should run either one. That's what I'm saying.
I could see them keeping at T0, because especially with Shorekeeper, with the Concerto energy, you need the 2 intros. Like she could really just carry that on her back in a matter of seconds. So I think that is fine.
Are you also keeping in mind though that Sanhua's Concerto is so fast that you're like spam breaking the boss?
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like I could see her being at T0 finally now, especially at S6, with her S6 giving the attack buff. So honestly, I could see it. I think she would be the only T0 then. I don't think Yinlin is T0. I really don't.
So tier 0 Sanhua, 0.5 Yinlin, and then Jeji Murtefi tier 1.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think, Serra?
I think that's valid.
I like Yinlin in tier 0, but I agreed with moving her down to 0.5 and then the other down to tier 1.
Yeah, I think really other than Zhang Liao, that's the only character she synergizes with, like specifically, like perfectly with. And like, you know, Changli just has better options. Havoc Rover, you could just use Donjin instead. Like there's other characters like, you know, when she first dropped, everyone was like, hey, use it with Encore, use it with Havoc Rover, or even when Changli can out, use it with Changli. But like, there's just better options, right? So I think that while she's solid, I don't think it's as good. Yo, what's going on, Kenny? We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to DPS in a bit. Also, my bad, chat. I'm not ignoring you. We're just going over this. But it was good, Hex. How are you, brother? Okay, cool. So I think that's valid. I think we could agree on this. I don't think we really care. I think if you want to be a snob, you can. No, I think T2 is good for him as well.
Yeah, actually. All of them are T2.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Okay. Now we're going to get to the really long, controversial part that's going to take 20 years. Can I use the bathroom real quick before we get into this?
You know what? I actually think, scrolling down the list, Yanwu should go up.
I was going to say 1.5 for Yanwu because of Jinshi.
Yeah.
But other than Jinshi, I mean, granted, he does get a shield. I believe it's C4. But other than that...
Yeah, but who is building him for the shield?
Yeah, not only that,
that guy level 1.
Yeah, there's really no other synergy there. So I think that if you wanted to put 1.5, I could see it. But, you know, I'm not going to die on the hill with T2.
I mean,
I think T2 is
Jeshi is being carried by
Jinshi.
So, you know,
if we're going to use that logic,
yeah.
If we use that logic, Yanwu goes up to tier 1.5. Okay. Jinshi's free-to-play option? Yeah, pretty much. Also, what's good, Pixel? How you feeling, brother? Okay, so let me go pee real quick. Say hi to chat. Chat, don't look, my ass is out. And
hello, chat. How's it going?
I got a lot of heat for this one last time as well.
What?
Obviously, I think Jinshi is still T0. I think Jinshi is still the easiest DPS to use in the game. But yeah, like free to play friendly. You get Verena, you get Yanwu for free, you get Baiji for free. Like I don't think there's anything negative about her. She is goated. Obviously, the only thing is she's coordinated attacks, but you could even use her in hot swap teams with Changli, and she still works. So I think this is safe to say she is still T0. What do you guys think?
True.
Yep. Easy.
Yep. Okay.
I think Camellya is tied with her.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did not agree with you at first, but I think Camellya is a T0 unit. What was good, Vaughn?
Also,
yeah.
Oh, when you say what you're saying?
No, hit me. I'm listening.
I was going to talk about other 0.5 people.
So the thing is, real quick, I think the reason why Camellya is tied to T0, if we look at it, is not only does she have 2 nukes with the sitting down Forte or Concerto,
Yeah, Imperial.
but also if you actually think about it, she is in the same way with Jinshi. She has her best in slot free to play team. I mean, best in slot is free to play. You get Sanwa offered it for free, and you get Verena. And if you pull a Shorekeeper, it's even better. So I'm actually surprised that I think she is still a little clunky. I think she is.
I think you just need to get used to it.
I understand that, but I do think that the ease of use of someone like Changli, Zhang Liao, Jinshi, and then compared to Camellya is still a little clunky for that average player.
Okay, well, with a direct comparison of Jinshi to Camellya, what do you think makes Camellya more clunky?
Because Jinshi is just straight simple. You just do normal attacks and call it a day. Camellya, you have to you have to manage all of these things. Sometimes when you do your that powered up Forte circuit that takes over your E, you go into the air, other time, and then you start spitting. Sometimes I realize, wait, maybe am I not in the air? Am I in the air? Am I not in the air? So I have to hit my E again. Like I get mixed up with being in the air and not in the air. Also, not being able to move is annoying. So like I think she is also a little bit of a sitting duck where she's having a problem with the interruption resistance. As Jinshi could dodge midway through and still continue her attack chain to get her massive damage out. So I think like objectively, Jinshi's just bot easy mode. Excuse me, and then
I think Camellya might just have a higher skill floor than Jinshi.
Yeah, no, yeah, it takes more skill. Yeah, but I think like the whole being stuck in the air and the fact of the matter is you have to be making sure you don't get hit with interruption resistance, I think makes her a bit more clunky than Jinshi.
All right.
You know? Jinshi's annoying in the air with the dodges. Oh wait, Serra, you have anything to add?
I agree with Uragon over here in chat where Jinshi also people were complaining about the same clunkiness when Jinshi comes out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Personally, I think Camellya is actually less clunky than Jinshi.
Really?
I don't think either one.
So.
My take on it, I don't think either one is less clunky than the other. I think you just literally need to play the character and get a feel for the character. And once you have that, like you're locked in. But I do think Camellya's skill floor is higher than Jinshi's. Like I think Jinshi's easier to pick up.
Yeah, I definitely think that that there's a higher skill ceiling for sure. Without a doubt. So okay. Skill issue, definitely skill issue. I didn't think Jinshi was annoying in air. I actually think Jinshi being in the air is not too bad. I also kind of find myself sometimes not pairing with her. Maybe it's just a massive skill issue. But with Jinshi, I feel like I'm like consistent with it. But she's also been out for a while.
Camellya's parries you have to learn. They have like the start of the hit doesn't parry as fast as Jinshi's, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kals, by the way, I do. Wait, someone said
I know why. It's because you're thinking too much.
Probably.
With her, you don't think. You just gotta pray and trust that it's gonna counter, and not think about what the enemy's doing.
That sounds about right. Wait, so Mayo said, in my opinion, I don't think anyone's T0 till we have actual content where Jinshi's. I don't think we could say no one is Tier 0 because
there's definitely Tier 0 because Gian exists.
Yeah, not only that. But like you have to work in the confines of the content you have right now, Mayo, right? So we can't say like, well, we'll rank it when we get really hard content down the road. Because what if we never get hard content down the road, right? So working with what we have, yes. Also, hit it. I'm listening.
And we do have hard content. It's called the what's it called? Overdrive mode.
Overdrive is trash.
It's still hard content.
It's so hard though. Yeah, it is hard. It's dog shit. But it is hard.
Well, if hard equals HP sponge, then I don't know.
I mean, listen, like the only character that's clearing that easily is Jinshi, and maybe
she
now
also
Camellya
has a whole half dedicated to her whole kit. Like
but even
single
the
sentence
units
of the buff dedicated to her.
Yeah, but even the other units have a side dedicated to them, and they don't clear it as well as Jinshi does.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
True.
Arvin says, Jinshi stronger than easier than Camellya. I am pro. Trusted me. In one day of playing, I would put Camellya below Jinshi. I might change my mind in a few days if I'm on Camellya. Exactly. No, I think that
other 0.5s.
I don't know why Cheng Li's on a watch list. I actually really hate this quite a bit. I think this is genuinely probably the worst take they've done out of all of the characters, because them saying she has no direct synergy with everyone, I think is just false. And the fact that she's so open for so many team comps, the same way Zheng Liao is why I think she's so good. Realistically, the only leg up that Zheng Liao has is that Zheng Liao has a support that directly matches him with Yinlin. But prior to that, you could still use Yang Yang, you could use Sanhua, you could use a bunch of different people. And so it's the same thing with Cheng Li. I think putting her on a watch list due to the fact that she doesn't have that exact support is a little cringe. Nothing about the game has changed. And realistically, Camellya is not hitting Jinshi numbers yet. She hits close to them. But if Camellya is hitting close to Jinshi, that does not devalue anyone in T0.5. We'll get to Gian actually. But so I don't agree with this. I think putting her on a watch list is actually kind of cringe. Like there's nothing here that's different.
She
think the
also
watch
has a
list.
good weapon, because remember, these are S0. These are with the standard weapons, not their signatures.
Yeah.
So that makes her moving down even worse, because she has a good signature and Gian really doesn't.
Yeah. Also, they said that they might add her in the hybrid column, but I do agree. I think if you put her in the hybrid column, then I think she's T0. Then I think that's valid. So I think they should definitely duplicate it. But as a main DPS, I still think 0.5 is not bad. I think 0.5 is really good for her. So putting her on a watch, I think, is kind of silly. What do you think, Gibb?
I want to talk about Gian.
Oh, brother, I really hate Gian. I really do.
I've recently built Gian like a month ago when his rerun came out, because I didn't have Gian built because I got him on the first banner early, and I didn't have him built because you can't play Gian without Mortefi. And I'm still playing him with like a scuffed Mortefi, but Gian pretty much he just hasn't moved down. That's it.
Okay.
That's the main point.
Here's the best Gian team no one's talking about.
No.
Shorekeeper, Gian, Zheng Liao.
It's not bad. It's not a bad team in that right side of the tower. Like in the most recent
The only
game
thing
mode,
with that team is I'd rather just play Cheng Li.
I think it's arrow damage bonus, is it not? Or is it electric?
I actually prefer it over Cheng Li just because of the grouping. And their Gian's rotation and Yao's rotations match up better than Yao's and Cheng Li's rotations.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I think it's not a bad team.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Cheng Li's not really locked to one rotation. It depends what the enemy's doing and like how you're getting your stacks.
Yeah, but if we're just talking about the casual player, what's going to be the easier rotation for them to do?
Definitely Gian.
Swap into Gian. Ult with Gian. When his ult goes down, you swap into Cheng Liao, use his ult and do his stuff, and then swap into your healer, re-up the buff, and then do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's valid.
I actually think, I will say as a hot take, I think Camellya's AoE is pretty dog shit. I think Gian's AoE is superior for sure. I think Gian's AoE is able to suck the characters in, while Camellya is like, if you're in the area, I will spin around and potentially I might drag you in a little bit. But like, she has
that's grouping versus AoE damage.
Well, they're both under the AoE though. Right? So if we're going based off with Prydwen, I think even just as a whole, I think overall Gian's AoE is still, I think, better.
Oh yeah, and Gian's AoE also is like he gets like an enhanced form versus Camellya's is like one attack. So like if you cancel Camellya's, it doesn't keep going, but Gian, like Gian's lead best combo is spamming his N1 with dodge counters while you're in his ult.
Yeah. So I think I'm not gonna lie to you. I would still keep him T0.5 at the moment. But I could see him going down to T1. I don't think it's a hill for me to die on. But like I am still not a fan of him. I think his rotations are overall super convoluted and annoying. I know it's gonna don't you try 180 this, mister. You said you hate Gian. No, it's not. I do hate Gian. I don't enjoy him, but I know he's still good, and I
I think
find
he
him.
can only beat 0.5 with the Sig.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, if
that's
he,
true.
yeah,
Because without his weapon, I think he probably drops down to tier 1.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm
okay, for
saying.
But
sure.
everybody got his weapon, to be honest, that plays Gion.
Yeah,
I
I
did not have
mean,
his weapon.
whack. See, the other thing is, I feel like Camilla is obviously overall better for sure, especially damage wise and like consistency and just rotations. But Gion's parrying is also super easier, I think, as well, because Gion is just a brain dead character to
Only
play
when
with.
he's in his ult.
No, I think his normal
No,
parry is pretty
even
easy
out
as
of his
well.
ult, his attacks have really big
Yeah,
hitboxes.
they're
Nah,
fast, they
they're
have big
so clunky.
hitboxes. I don't think they're as clunky as
Also,
Camilla.
also his skill is an auto parry. Any attack in the game, it makes his whole character like a parry hitbox.
Yeah,
You literally cannot miss parry doing Gion skill.
no, for sure. Okay, so if we're going no Sig, I think T1. If we're keeping him with Sig, I think he should be on a watch list. I don't think
Yeah, he
Changli should
should
be
be
on
the
the
one on
watch
the watch
list.
list.
That should be the
I
watch
think
list.
the biggest thing Chengdi is for the watch list, based on how they say it, is just the fact that she would be in 2 categories instead of 1.
No, I
No,
think the
they're
watch
thinking
list.
about moving her down because they're
Yeah,
comparing her to Camellya and Zhang Liao and technically Gion, but let's be real, they're not really comparing her with Gion.
yeah,
Gion just has
Okay.
the general buff.
Yeah, I think she stays in
pretty much.
0.5 for sure.
I think.
Right.
What do you think of Zheng Liao?
I think he's the GOAT. I think with Sig, he's tier 0, but if you don't have Sig, he's just 0.5.
Nah, he's not
No,
tier
he's not
0.
T0.
He's
He's
not close to
not.
Gion, or he's not close to Jinshi. He's not close to Camellya.
Yeah, I love Zheng Liao. I think Zheng Liao is amazing and super easy to use and free to play. Like again, you could use Yang Yang and Verino or whatnot, but like he's not T0. Like his burst is not up enough for you to do a T0. I just don't think so. Like, because realistically, obviously he does the 3 attacks from his forte and shit, which still do damage, but his burst is a bulk of that damage. So I don't think so.
Okay,
I
but do
think
you know about his dodge counter scaling when he's in his ult?
I don't, but also like realistically, as someone who plays the game every single day and streams it almost every single day, I probably won't even capitalize on that.
Well,
But
I'm not saying he needs to move. I was just saying, what's his Sig? I think he can maybe go up. I don't think he has to go up. Just his
I
Sig
don't.
adds a lot.
I think he is the top of 0.5,
Yeah,
0.05 or 0.5. You know the handsome guy from One Punch Man who keeps all
yes,
the A ranks below S rank?
yeah,
Yeah, he's that guy.
dude. I think
Pretty
like
face.
if you look at it, right, we have T0, and like this is T0, and then I think we have like there's just a ceiling. There is just a massive ceiling because of Camilla and because of Jinshi, and then we have T0.5. Like, and Zheng Liao is like right here. Like right there. Like,
And
but
no, Brendo, I don't think she goes down because sometimes I will forget that Jinshi is wearing a level 60 weapon that I stole from Calcharo, and she will still beat the tower. And I'll be
yeah.
like, why is my Jinshi damage so low?
Also, Kang, we're gonna go over Encore as well. I got you because I know why they put that there. If you just in a Blade of Seven's career, you get top tier rolls. Yeah, exactly. We've used accounts with just not Abyss Surges. What is that? What is the Claymore called? The standard weapon, whatever it is. We've used that and we've cleared Lion's Roar or something. So yeah, but I think Zheng Liao is literally right there, but I don't think he will ever reach T0 because also his best in slot support already dropped. And he's still not hitting those numbers the way they are. So I think there's that.
On tier 1?
I would actually say Yinlin, Zhang Liao, that team can compete with Jinshi and Camellya, but it's harder to play.
I don't think in damage. I think Jinshi still takes it. I think Jinshi and Camellya still take it because Camellya and Jinshi don't need as much. Their rotations aren't as long, and honestly,
Oh no, they still take it. I'm just saying that that team is close enough, but it's a
it's
really
completable.
premium team.
Yeah. It is. The issue on that is that if Jinxi's arguably better than Camilla, there's no way Changli, Zhengli is better than Camilla. Well, no. So we put Camellya in T0. Camellya is not that far off from Jinshi. I don't think it's that far off, truthfully. With Encore, this is the one where it says the expert. So if you're an expert with Encore, you can bring it to T0.5. But if you're not, I think T1 is fine. I personally don't really like Encore as much anymore. I think T1 is fair because of the fact that you really, really, really need to be good with her and the quick swapping with Sanhua and all that stuff. But she is free to play. You know, you can get her from the selector, you can get Sanhua, you can get Verena. So I think this is fair ranking. I don't think this is anything crazy.
I'd actually, if we're just talking about units that should probably go down to tier 1, I think if we move anyone to tier 1, you bump Encore down and then bump the rest of it down, to be honest.
Wait, repeat that, I'm sorry?
So like if we move Camellya and then for some reason we move Gion and maybe Chingli, I don't think we move Chingli, but if we move Gion down to tier 1, I think you bump Encore down to tier 1.5 and then bump some other people down.
You're underrating Encore. Encore,
No.
it
I'm
just
not
needs expert
underrating
tag.
Encore. Listen, even with the expert tag, Encore is not Chingli eye level.
No, I don't think she should be. Well, she's not in Cannel. She's 9.5.
No, that's what the expert tag means, is to move them up a tier. If you're
I get what you're saying.
I think she should be tier 1 with expert tag.
No. So, but what Serra's saying is like, okay, if we move Gion down to T1, right? And then with expert, they could be on the level of Zheng Liao. I don't think they're on the level of Zheng Liao. I agree with Serra. If you move Gion down to T1, then Encore, although competable with Gion, is not going to be on the same level as Zheng Liao. I would say personally, I think remove the expert tag. I think regardless, I think she's just tier 1. You know? Yo, no, I appreciate the follow, brother. Devin, man, welcome and how are you? You're having a great day. How you doing?
What about tier 1.5 and tier 2?
I think Donjin needs the expert tag.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And if you're not an expert, she's like a tier 3 unit. Let's be real.
I think she's in the wrong
category. Yeah, because you would die.
I think she's in the wrong category. I think she'd be in hybrid. I think putting her in DPS is a little weird.
Well, a lot of people, because Donjin obviously has like sub DPS with Havoc Rover and Camellya, I guess. But like most people that are playing Donjin are like playing Donjin hyper carry or like solo Donjin.
Yeah, well, but now that Camellya is out, she could objectively be that Havoc outro buff. Also, realistically, when you're running her with Havoc Rover, she is there as your sub DPS, right? So she's there for your sub DPS Concerto energy. I think it would be fair to put her in hybrid because of the fact that, yes, you could use her as a main DPS, but that's where the risk/expert tag comes in. So I think if we were to be fair, I think you put her in hybrid. I think you put her at T1 with an expert. Or excuse me, I think you put her at T2, but then like if you're an expert, like she could be at like T1. I think she skips like 2 tiers because she is really good. Actually, no, I think as a hybrid, because there's no risk with her if you're using her as a hybrid. If you're using her as a main DPS, there's a massive risk, especially C6. Because at C6, she has that whole thing where I think it's like if she's less than 60% health or 40% health, you know what I'm saying? That'll do even more damage. But as a hybrid, there's no risk at all. You literally just do your forte, smash it, you get your Concerto when you have half health, and then that's it. I think they need to put Donjin's image twice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Frank. I agree. S5, that's S5? Okay. So yeah, the S5 is that.
And I don't know how we haven't gotten C6 Havoc Rover yet. I feel like you're trolling on that.
Yeah,
they're not trolling.
How are they not trolling?
It makes complete sense. They gotta sell Camellya.
Okay, but Havoc Rover, even with the red shred, would not even be close to Camellya.
Yeah, but they gotta sell Camellya. They can't have us with the Havoc alternative that can clear the tower. That is Havoc weak. So they gotta keep Havoc Rover down.
Can already clear
the tower.
Sell
Camellya more.
I think.
I mean,
okay, but you also have to. If that was the case, Havoc Rover wouldn't exist if they knew they were going to release a Havoc DPS.
No,
Havoc
I don't
Rover
think so.
Come out in 2.0.
No, I think that overall, even with S6 Havoc Rover, I think the ease of use of C0 Camellya is just going to outshine Rover regardless.
Yeah, I don't think there's a selling point on not releasing. If anything, not having C6, it literally just doesn't make sense because the Havoc Rover has existed since 1.1 or whatever.
I think they're just waiting for 2.0. I think we're going to get a new element in S6. Or they maybe
Oh,
inside the
that's
story
true.
or something, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Once we get the new element, like you're gonna be forgetting about Havoc Rover at that point. So you're
Nah,
gonna
I'm
have
still gonna
S6.
use
You're
some
not even
Havoc,
gonna be
bro.
playing the
I
character.
agree also. Also, it was good. Dia, welcome in, bro. Okay. So where do you put Havoc Rover? I think 1.5 with Havoc Rover is fine. I think that's
Yeah,
fair.
1.5 is fine.
That's valid. I think all of these are dog shit. I mean, Chixia could be expert and she can go tier 1.5 realistically.
I don't even think she's expert. You just have to dodge.
No, you have to be good with her. You got to be good with her, though. Like
You gotta
really
know
do.
when to use the
Yeah.
shoot.
Like I gotta be honest, man. I fucking hate. I don't like playing Chixia, but she can do big PB damage numbers. Colchero T2 is fine, but like T1.5, yeah.
Nah, yeah, no. Kaltar
Yeah.
T2, and then we move the little shitter down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ling Yang is just tier 3. Like he is what it is. Oh, so wait, this is what you made based on what we have? Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
So this was our okay. So let's review our collective tier list real quick. So we had Camellya T0. Okay. A final review. I think we're good here. I think we're good here. This we're cool with. I mean, I think Encore could go down, but whatever. I think this is fine. I do think Donjon should go in hybrid. I think if Donjon's in hybrid, I think 1.5 or 1.0. No, I say 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is fair for Donjon hybrid. I think that's good.
I think since it's catered to the casual player base, I would not have Changli in tier 0 in hybrid. I'd have her.
Okay, but why are we catering to casuals?
Because those are the people who
what
play
the
the
list
game.
is. That's the priority of the tier list.
Okay, but then you have the problem of trying to appease both sides. Unless you're just trying to appease one.
That's why she's in 0.5, because it appeases both sides.
I actually don't know. I mean, you could possibly say she goes to 0.5 for the casuals, but I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't think for the expert she goes to tier 0 in any
No,
role.
I think she does. I think in hybrid without a doubt. That with the Zhang Liao team is pretty nutty.
Yeah,
or like the Jian,
is
you know.
I would use Yinlin over Changli in a Zhang Liao team.
You 100%. Use Yinlin over a Zhang Liao team?
Well, that's the hyper carry version.
Yeah, I don't like
it's literally just two different teams. It's literally two different teams. That's it. There's like no debate on it.
I get why you would use Yinlin. I think though, even with that buff, you still get overall more damage because as opposed to just Yinlin buffing Zhang Liao, you're having a whole other DPS that is over here contributing to the team. But I could see a point for putting it to T0.5 for casuals. I don't think that's a hill to die on. I do think Sanhua is still honestly probably the only T0 support, especially at S6. I think that's fine. But for casuals, if you want to put it at T0.5, I think that's fair. I think T1 is good. I think T2, I mean, Alto's just dog shit, you know, whatever. Fuck Alto. And then this is just straight up. I do think we should move Yang Yang up, though. I think Yang Yang should not be in support. I think Yang Yang should be hybrid.
Yang Yang the hybrid.
Where do we put her? Like 1.5?
1.5, yeah.
Yeah, I think Yang Yang goes 1.5. But other than that, I don't know. I think this is solid. What do you think?
I think that is very solid. You're locked in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Chat, how we feel? What's up way from hiring people to play for me? Do it. Chat, how we feel about this? Who's gonna comment Ethan retire and fucking jump into a car in front of Roblox?
Everybody.
Which one of y'all motherfuckers? Someone do it. I'll give you $5. I'll give you a welcome. What? Gibb, what do you want live?
Jump into traffic.
In Roblox.
All right, give me that welcome. In Roblox.
In Roblox.